OrganicLea started in 2001 when we took on 5 abandoned allotment plots. We're a workers' cooperative based in North East London, focused on growing food and getting more people growing food. We have a growing site, which is where we are now, so it's a 12-acre ex-council nursery site. So we grow produce to sell into our own box scheme. We also sell our produce to cafes and restaurants. We run training programs and volunteering programs, so we have about 150 volunteers a year actively involved on this site. And then we also are involved in a number of other sites, usually with partners who've got some other land, so schools, housing associations, health centres, so there's an additional hundreds of people involved in those activities as well. And then the other element, which had always been there as a sort of vision, but for the last 3 years or so we've specifically allocated some resources, raised funds and created roles for system change work, so looking at the food system and actually being more overtly political about it. We started completely on a voluntary basis to just do some food growing and learn ourselves. And then gradually we started to expand our ideas and start to produce some surplus and start to sell that and run some training initiatives and access some funding to run projects out in the community around awareness around the food system. In about 2005 or so we formally set up as a workers' co-op. We started paying people, got ourselves into a position where we could start to think about larger projects and actually people start to give up their other jobs because we had enough funding or potential income for people to focus their time on OrganicLea. At that point then we started to function properly as a professional organisation. So we're workers' co-op. We are both employers and employees, and we need to operate as individuals with both those hats on all the time. From the start we've collectively made decisions. We have grown over the years, but actually we've grown at a realistic rate. Within the co-op there are individuals who are more likely to be pushing for that growth, and then there's others who actually will be a bit more cautious, and there's people in the middle. And I think because we all have to sit around and come to some sort of consensus about what our decisions are, it's meant that there's a fine balance that we strike in those decisions, which means that we're not growing too fast, but we're also not being too cautious and missing opportunities to achieve what we're setting out to achieve. The borough we're in is London Borough of Waltham Forest. When this site became available, it was a council site which they were closing down, and we put forward a proposal to take it on and develop quite a significant growing initiative. We had a link into the council leader at the time who supported it. At that time there was some lottery money that was coming available. It was actually quite useful for us to be going to the council and saying, look, we've got this good idea, but actually there's a whole load of money that we can bid in for, which is only accessible by community sector charitable organisations, and it will be bringing money into the borough. And that was quite a powerful lever to get the council to kind of move forward when it was getting slowed down in terms of getting the lease sorted and things like that. There's an element of building up your networks prior to getting into that situation where you're negotiating, so there's already some trust. You also need a good understanding of what the council actually want to achieve and different departments, what their priorities are, and how what you're trying to do helps meet those. Looking for interesting ways to engage communities, but also to deliver across different council departments. We would be the catalyst for different council officers to actually start to work together on food. When we're approaching the council and pushing ideas forward, it's always been received very, very positively. As a small, flexible organisation, we've got the ability to innovate. From a council perspective, in a large bureaucracy, the scope to think like that is limited. So I think it feels like a bit of a breath of fresh air to them when they can engage with us and start to deliver things. we're now in a situation where the council has got quite a lot of confidence in us, to the point where they, in the last few years, have been specifically talking about a food strategy. I suppose as a trusted partner, they've turned to us for advice. They very much see us as the experts. Establish some good contacts, get a relationship of trust there where they understand what you're trying to do and they believe that you can do it. Be realistic. And I think the key thing is to offer them solutions to problems rather than be another problem.